Hello, welcome to Record Junkie again. Welcome back, folks. Today's a record haul. I want to go through some new finds, some new records that I've purchased within the last 4 to 5 months. Most of these were found at garage sales, yard sales, whatnot. A couple of them were ordered off the internet. So we'll get to those here in a minute. Real quick, and I meant to mention this on the last video I did, the unboxing video, but I didn't. The first couple of videos, I apologize. There were some issues with the lighting. I don't know why my camera kept flickering and wanting to. It was trying to adjust the lighting, and it was, I don't know, the light was causing my camera to go haywire. That's the reason why I'm switching. It's the reason why there's a different background behind me. I'm sitting I'm sitting behind a different wall now, seeing if that would help. I also have the light on my camera on, so we'll see if that helps. It looked like on the last video it did help a little bit. So I'm sorry if it does it again. I apologize. I don't know. I'm trying to fix it. I keep winding up having to do these videos after dark because, things have been busy lately. And I'd like to do it during the day, and instead of having the light on in here, just have my window open and use natural light and see if that helps with it. But just never can seem to get things done fast enough. Just never have enough time. So, let's get down to it. So, first few records is going to be some stuff that first couple is going to be some stuff that I just recently found. Not really at a yard sale, but at a little shop. I live in a little town. There's a bunch of shops down there, and one of them had a box of records. They were selling, and each record was $5. And I found a couple little gems. First one was Culture Club. Yeah, this is a Color by Numbers album. This one has Karma Chameleon on it, which is their big all-time hit. That's the one they're most famous for. But they actually had some good stuff. They had a song called "I'd Tumble for You." That was a great song. I really enjoyed it. So yeah. Anyway, there it is. Culture Club, Color by Numbers. It's on the Epic record label. There's the record. So yeah, cool. $5. Figured why not. I don't have any Culture Club in my collection yet, so why not? Excited to add that to my collection. Oh, got stuff falling over everywhere down here. Alrighty. So yeah, so there it is. Next one I got from the same shop, same box, $5. Cher. Yeah, Cher. This one, this is her Dark Lady album. I don't have any Cher in my collection. Happy to find it. There's the record. It's on the MCA record label, the Rainbow, the pretty little rainbow on it. Yeah, Cher, Dark Lady. By the way, Dark Lady is a fantastic song. I've never heard this entire album, and actually, believe it or not, I've not had a chance to listen to this yet. I did almost just flung it off here. That was a close call. Culture Club I did listen to, but I have not gotten a chance to listen to this yet. So kind of excited to see what the album is like. So there it is, Cher, Dark Lady. The next one I ordered. I was going to do an unboxing. Trying to remember if I actually did an unboxing of it. I don't think because I recorded several unboxing videos, they all got lost. And I don't remember if I did an unboxing of this one. But I did feature it on a video, and that video got lost. I don't think it was an unboxing video, though. So yeah, this one's exciting. this next record I ordered off Discogs, and this was kind of a milestone in my record collecting, because this is the very first Spanish record to my collection. Yeah, and I do listen to Spanish music. There are several genres I actually like. Uh, I like cumbia, I like reggaeton, corridos, bachata. So there's several different genres that I like. My favorite of them all is probably reggaeton. Um, I can listen to reggaeton all day long. This record though is not neither of those genres. Just so happens this record's a rock and roll record. So ready? Here we go. Timbiriche. That's right. Um, most of the people watching this, it's funny because I don't see any Spanish records ever on any videos, on any of the record collector. All these guys out there that own record shops are doing these YouTube videos. You got the In Groove, you got Noble Records. None of them are featuring really any Spanish records. It's funny. I may be the first YouTuber to have a Spanish record on. And there's a lot of great stuff, especially Spanish rock and roll. A lot of good stuff out there. But yeah, Timbiriche, this is their album titled 7. This was kind of a blind buy, kind of. I bought this song for one album, or I bought this album for one song only. And that song happens, not only is it my number one favorite Timbiriche song, and I do know a few, just I didn't know any of the other songs on this album. I know other songs from other albums. It's not only just my favorite Timbiriche song, it just may be my all-time favorite Spanish song out of all the genres. It's tied. It's still tied with another song by Ramon Ayala that I really like. But yeah, it might be number one. And the song is Con Todos Menos Conmigo. That's the name of the song. Fantastic song. From the very first time I heard it, I fell in love with it. And it's one of those songs, if I listen to, I had to put it on repeat. I got to listen to it like 3 or 4 times in a row. Absolutely love it. So I bought this album for that song. Wound up listening to the whole album and wound up liking it. Found some other songs. Besos de Ceniza is a great song. Really, really enjoyed that. That's on side A. See what others we got here. Yeah. And it's great because Besos de Ceniza comes right before. That's followed up by Con Todos Menos Conmigo. So you got 2 fantastic songs back to back right there. And then, the whole side A was actually just fantastic. Side B, there were some hit misses. Some songs I liked, some songs I didn't. I will say side A of this record is probably a little bit better than side B. Side B had some good stuff on it. But there were a couple songs on side B I didn't like. I didn't care much for. Anyway, fantastic album. It's on the Melody record label. Melody Records. Never heard of that record label or record company before. So that's definitely a new one on me. But yeah, that's who pressed this. So there's the record. There's the album. Timbiriche. Had this for 3 or 4 months. Now, I gotta say something. When I ordered this record, it said on Discogs that it was near mint. For those of you who are not familiar with ordering records or not familiar with condition rating the condition of it, you have poor, obviously it's poor. You have good plus, you have very good, which is VG. It's abbreviated. VG means very good. Then you have VG plus. Then you have near mint plus, and then you have mint. Okay, and then of course there's like new. Most of the time though, I bought some mint records that were still factory sealed, so they were pretty much basically new. This said it was near mint. It said the case, the jacket was near mint, the record was near mint. When I got it, the jacket is not near mint. The jacket, I would say, is VG plus, somewhere in that range. The record is probably... Here's the thing. The record looks pristine. Looks great. Looks clean. Just absolutely pristine. And then you play and it does have some surface noise on it. Quite a bit. For as clean as it looks, no scratches on it. Looks really good. But it does have surface noise. So I don't know... And I've cleaned it several times. I think maybe it's just been played a lot and it's just wore out a little, kind of a little bit wore out. Still listenable. It's not enough to bug me, but it's there. It's enough to be able to hear. And only on certain parts of the record then again too. Which could be possible. I mean, certain parts were probably listened to more than others. If that's what caused it, I really don't know. So I will say, I've ordered a lot of records from Discogs. And most of the time you get what the rating says it is. This record came from Mexico. It was shipped to me from Mexico. It was a record store in Mexico that was selling this on there. And it, just for future reference, if everyone does go and buy a record and they see it's from Mexico, just remember their standard might be a little lower. So what they consider mint or near mint, it's probably going to be more like VG or VG plus for us. It's just the way it is, and nothing against Mexico. I have family there, so absolutely nothing against it. I'm just letting everyone out there know, if you do buy a record on Discogs, you know it's from, and you see it's coming from Mexico, just keep that in mind. There was a little problem with this record. I ordered this record. 2 weeks goes by and nothing. This record is still not shipped out to me. So I emailed the person that I was buying it from, which was basically a record store, I guess, and said, hey, it's been 2 weeks. My record's not shipped yet. Like, what's going on? They got right back to me and said, hey, I'm so sorry. And they're like, so I guess the owner was on vacation. He went on vacation somewhere. He just got back. He's behind on orders. He's trying to get them all shipped out. And I said, okay, no problem. He said he was very sorry. And I'm like, hey, no problem. Thank you for getting back to me. Do what you got to do and whatnot. Well, I get the record, and something was included in this record. They did something that I've never seen. It's never been done. All the records I've ordered several records from Discogs. Never had this happen. They actually included a handwritten note from it's called Vinyl Store, I guess. And I think it's a handwritten note. I'll hold it up there a little bit. So yeah, no one's ever done that for me. It is in Spanish, of course. I can pick out certain parts of it, but I'm not good enough to be able to translate the whole thing, so I've not had it translated yet. But yeah, I just thought that was really, really cool. So Vinyl Store, if you're ordering a record from Mexico, I would highly recommend them, because even though there was a little mix-up on the shipping and he was on vacation, he made it right. So I gotta give the guy credit. So, Vinyl Store is the name of the channel, or the channel, or whatever, the account, the profile on Discogs, if that's what you want to call it, I guess, profile, account, whatever, Vinyl Store. If you're ordering a record from Mexico, I highly recommend them. That was real thoughtful of them to include the note. So there it is, Timbiriche 7, very happy to have this in my collection. Very happy. Learned some new songs I've never heard before. So, very nice to have this. On to the next. The next one got from a thrift store in Las Cruces, New Mexico, back in December. Took my grandmother down there. She likes to go thrift store hopping. I go just because I want to go crate digging. And there was one that had some cool stuff. well, first of all, they had, and I was so excited. They had Cat Stevens' Tea for the Tillerman, which is an album I've been on the hunt for. I know it's on Amazon. There's a repressing of it, but it's the 2020 remix that he did, which is good. Don't get me wrong. I thought the re-recording of it was fantastic. I thought it was great. However, that if I'm gonna get the record, I want the original first. I don't want to. Eventually, I'll get that. But that's not what I want. I want, a remastered of the original would be fine. But I don't want a re-recorded mix. So, um, I found one. I found the original there at the thing, and I go to check it out, and there's no record in there. Yeah, big bummer. The jacket was in very good condition, very nice, but no record. So I was a little upset by that. I found it on Discogs. I can't find one in good enough shape. I've gotten real picky. Folks, I don't sell for anything less than near mint. If I order on Discogs, it's got to be near mint. I'm picky. I want my jacket looking as good as I can get it. I want the record looking as good as I can get it. So it's just got to be near mint, both jacket and record. So it makes things a little difficult for me to find sometimes on Discogs. And I'm not finding one. I find one that the record's in near mint, but the jacket's VG. Or the jacket's near mint, but the record's VG. I'm not finding where they're both near mint. I'm having a hard time. Anyway, so still on the hunt for Tea for the Tillerman. But I did find another record that was really cool. That is the Dave Clark 5. Stoked about finding this. So I have the Dave Clark 5 already. I don't have this album. I have their greatest hits compilation album. This is a studio album. I like it like that. Big hit song for them too, by the way. They were a rock group out in the 60s. They had a big hit with a song called Glad All Over. A song called Because. And then the one I was like, I don't know why, every time I go to think of the name of it, I can't. I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, I don't know. It always eludes me every time, and I love it. It's one of my top 5 favorite Dave Clark 5 songs. And I Catch Us If You Can, that's it. I don't know why I can never think of that song. Every time I go to think of the name of it, I can never think. I got the tune, I got it in my head, can never think of the name of it. Catch Us If You Can, fantastic song. And then, of course, my all-time favorite song by them is a song called Over and Over. That was actually the very first song I ever heard by Dave Clark 5 was Over and Over. And it's not on this album, unfortunately, but I have it on their greatest hits, so that's good. But anyway, actually, is it? Yeah, I think it is on their greatest hits, actually. But yeah, great. They did another one called At the Scene that I really like. So their music is very rock, but it's kind of happy, upbeat, up tempo, kind of got this feel good vibe to it. I really like it. So there it is, Dave Clark 5. I like it like that. There's the record on the Epic record label. So yeah, and by the way, mint condition record, absolute just mint condition. The jacket was, I would say, VG plus to near mint, probably near mint actually. Just fantastic. So good condition on this. Happy to have it. I have not listened to this one either, just folks I've not had the time. Again, excited to, just haven't had a chance to yet. On to the next. Okay, so the next few records, yeah. Okay, so the next few that I have here were from a lady who was moving. She's a friend of mine. She moved, or was moving, had a bunch of records, and she wanted to get rid of them. She's never really listened to them, but she had them. And she said, hey, come take a look. See anything you want, take it. So we went and take a look, and most of it was your typical garbage. Most of it, typical garbage. You know, most of it, yeah. So just nothing that was good. However, I did find a few when I found the ones that were good, they were really good. So I did find a few that I was excited about. So starting with this one, Def Leppard, On Through the Night. Just thought this was pretty cool to see this in there. This is Def Leppard's very first album. I gotta say, definitely not their greatest album for sure, but definitely happy to have it. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, yeah, obviously I could find this on Discogs, I'm sure, and whatnot, but I don't see it out in the wild or out there. I don't see it on Crate Digs. I'm not seeing this album in thrift stores or anything like that. I could probably go to the record store, you know, in El Paso. It's about 120 miles from me. They would probably have it, of course. But just out there, crate digging, yard sales, and thrift stores, you never see it. So it was kind of cool to come across this. So I went ahead, I took it. Um, yeah, Def Leppard On Through the Night on the Mercury record label. You know, it's funny, and I made a comment, and I don't think it was in a video that was meant to be uploaded, but never got uploaded. I made a comment that you never see Mercury. I was showing a Scorpions record, and I don't have that one out right now. I should, because it didn't get featured on that video, wound up getting lost, so it never got uploaded. I have a Scorpions record that I had found at a thrift store, and it was on the Mercury record label. Not the same one as this. This is the Skyscraper. I don't know what that is. I think it's LA. I don't know what it is. But it's on the black one. And I made a comment that you never see rock and roll records on the Mercury. I've only ever seen country. Or at least for me, it's just if it's a Mercury record label, it's always country for whatever reason. And then after I made that comment, now it's like I see Mercury on all these rock and roll records. It's crazy. So it's like, I don't know. It's making me a liar. Anyway, there it is, Mercury. Def Leppard, On Through the Night. Next one, extremely excited to find. This is actually one I was wanting to get. Looked for it on Discogs, kind of was keeping my eye on Discogs for it. And I go to this lady's house, and well, there it is. Judas Priest. That's right. Defenders of the Faith. Very excited. Very, very excited. I have a Judas Priest album. I already have an album by them, and I can't think of it. I think it's called Turbo or something. And that was actually a blind buy. And I liked it, actually. It was a good album. But yeah, Defenders of the Faith. So, very, very happy. It's on the Columbia record label. There it is. Judas Priest. Very happy to have this. Happy to add this to my collection. Yeah, so there it is. Got this next one was from the same house, from the same lady. And this one was a blind buy. Now it intrigued me because of the cover. And then she told me, hey, I'm like, I've never heard of this group, but it looks, I like the cover, it looks rock and rollish. She's like, and I told her who it was, and she's like, yeah, I know exactly who they are. She didn't even know she had this record. I almost didn't think she was gonna let me take this record, because she is a fan. But yeah, that's Dokken or Dokken. I don't know how to pronounce it. Dokken. Forgive me if I have that wrong. Yeah. I like the cover. This is their album Back for the Attack. They're an 80s rock group. She was a fan of Dokken. I've never heard of them. And she got really excited when she found out she had this. She didn't even know she had this. So I almost didn't think she was going to let me take it. But she did. She let me take it. I thought she was going to claim it. which is okay. Cause like I said, as a blind buy, I didn't know anything about it, but it was kind of saw the cover. I'll pull out, saw the back of it with the wolves and whatnot on the back. And it's on. By the way, there's the record. It's on the Elektra record label. Um, yeah, and so I gave it a listen, and I like Dokken. They're a good group. They're a good group. So yeah, I may have to start looking for some other albums by them. So yeah, Dokken. This next one was a blind buy as well. I kind of figured I would know a song by them. It sounded familiar. It's like I know a song by them, but I don't know what it is. That I just recognized the name, so I went ahead, and I knew they were 80s rock, so I went ahead and picked it up. That is Night Ranger, and indeed, yes, I knew like 3 or 4 songs off this album. So yeah, Night Ranger. This is called Midnight Madness. There's the record. It's on the MCA record label. Yeah, again, great album, by the way. Fantastic album. Loved the whole thing. So yeah, Night Ranger, Midnight Madness. Cool to add to my collection. Next one, same lady, same house. Saw it, had to pick it up. Only have one album by these guys, and that is Yes. This is their album Big Generator. Yes is an interesting group. I've never heard this album. I do have another album by them. I only have one, so it was nice to get a second one. And yeah, it's pretty decent. I need to get a cleaner copy. The record looked clean. It is clean. Again, just got a lot of. Well, I mean, it's not like mint, but it looked VG plus. A lot of surface noise. Bad. Like real bad. Like the Team Bedicha I showed, worse than that. Like Team Bedicha wasn't that bad, just a little bit. This is like almost unlistenable. Real bad. So not gonna keep this around for very long. I'm gonna have to get a better copy of it. But yeah, I bought it. The record looked good and everything. So I went ahead and took it. But yeah. Anyway, there it is. Yes, with Big Generator. All right. This next album's got a story to it that I want to tell. A little bit of an extensive story. So this one I ordered off Discogs. So this is Tommy Roe Beginnings. I've had this. I ordered this probably 6 months ago, at least, maybe longer. What do I say about this bad boy? Well, first of all, I bought this album for one song, and that was a song on here called Back Streets and Alleys. This is the only album that it's on. He does have a 45 with it. We'll get into that here in a minute. But outside of that, as far as albums go, this is the only album that song is on. And I found this album on Discogs. It said mint for the jacket, mint for the record. And I go and I look at the description, the details, and it was still factory sealed. Still factory sealed, never been opened. This is an album that came out, I believe, sometime in the 70s. I want to say 1971 or 72. Yeah, copyright 1971. Yeah, 1971, but still factory sealed, never been opened. This is an original, it's not a repressing. I don't think this album has been repressed. To be honest, it was not a big album for him. So here's the story on this album. The story of the song. So the song that I got the song for, Back Streets and Alleys. I used to own the 45 when I was little. My mom had a friend whose husband had a bunch of 45s, and she let me take a couple of them home, and One of them had the song Backstreets and Alleys. I'd never heard it before, and I put it on and wound up falling in love with the song. Long story short, I lose the record, right? I no longer have it. I haven't had it since last time I had that. I haven't had it since I was 12 years old. Um, at that time, I didn't care who sang it. I just knew I liked the song. I knew the name of it. So it was years before I could ever figure out who it was that sang that song. And years ago, back in YouTube's early days, I found a video of a man with a guitar, acoustic guitar, singing Backstreets and Alleys. And it says on there, Backstreets and Alleys by Tommy Roe. And I was like, that's by Tommy Roe. Okay. Finally, I'm getting somewhere. Okay, one step closer to hopefully relocating this song, because it's very hard to find, folks. I mean, unless you have this album, you're pretty much not going to have this song. This album's never been put on CD. There's no digital copies of it anywhere. Up until recent years on YouTube, people are uploading videos of them playing the record, usually the 45. But that is it. Outside of that, it's just not out there. So I was like, okay, I know who sings it. We just gotta find it. And at that time, I was still into records, but I was also collecting. I've always been collecting records, but I really wanted to find it on CD, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I kind of went through a period of time where all my records were in storage, and I didn't have a turntable, and so record collecting was put pretty much on probably about a 4 or 5 year hiatus, and my records just sat in storage for 4 or 5 years. So I wanted to find on CD, couldn't. Well, there's a DJ who used to be on Cool 105 in Denver, Colorado. I used to live in Denver, more specifically Lakewood, Colorado, and this was back in 2004. This was back in the days when Cool 105 was an oldies station. They now switched their format. They're classic rock now. They play 70s and 80s music. But back in my day, when I was listening to them in 2004, when I was a teenager, they were playing 50s and 60s and some 70s. So it was an oldies, like you were hearing doo-wops and stuff like that on there, you know. And from 7 to midnight every night, there was a DJ on there called The Boogeyman. Really well known in Denver, well known in Colorado. He's like the Wolfman Jack. They call him the Wolfman Jack of Colorado. He was great, loved him. He would play stuff that you didn't hardly ever hear on the radio, and I love that about him. Well, he got terminated, long story short. Found out years later, in 2011, that he was doing podcasts. So I started listening to his podcast, and he give out his email and say, hey, email me if there's a song you want to hear, and I'll play it on my next podcast. So I emailed him, and I said, hey, there's a song called Backstreets and Alleys by Tommy Roe. I used to have it as a kid. I haven't heard it in years. I cannot find it anywhere. It's non-existent on the internet. I said, do you by any chance have this song? If anyone out there is going to have it, I know it's going to be you. If you have it, would you play it? And he emailed me back and said, yes, I think I have it. The next podcast, he plays it for me. Mentions my name, everything, whatever. He plays it. I was like, yes. First time hearing that song in probably 15 years. Then I email him, tell him thank you. He emails me back and says, hey, I don't do this very often, but you said on your email that you used to listen to me on Cool 105, and that means a lot to me. So I don't do this for very many people, but I will send you an MP3 of that song if you want. And I emailed him back. I'm like, yes, please, that would be awesome. The next day, there's an email with an MP3 of that song. The only reason why I ever have that song, the only reason why that song is on my computer, which is sitting right over there, is because of him. I have it on a computer. I burnt it to a CD. I have it right here. I mean, literally, somewhere here, I have it on an external hard drive. Yeah, right here. I have it on this external hard drive. I have it on CD. I have it on my computer. I have it on my iPod. I have it everywhere because I didn't want to lose it because that's like the only MP3 in existence. Is because he had the record and converted it to MP3 for me. So I did not want to lose it. I have all sorts of backups of that song, so I would never ever lose it. Well, finally I get a hold of the record. So I got the record, the album in my hands, and yes, I've listened to it, and the whole album is great. And I discovered another song on there that's great. And it's called "Why Can't It Be Me," and it is very relatable for me. Very, very relatable. So relatable it really pulled on the heartstrings there. It was a little bit of an emotional roller coaster ride listening to it. It's called "Why Can't It Be Me." Very great, very fantastic song. This is a good album. Now, if you know Tommy Rowe, he had big hits with Sheila and Dizzy and Sweet Pea and Jam Up, Jelly Tight. All those were big hits for him. If you know him from those, and those are the only songs you heard from him, this album is gonna be not what you're expecting. This album sounds nothing like those songs. Just to give you a heads up if anyone decides they want to get their hands on a copy, but it is very, very good. Anyway, this video is getting long. I don't want to drag this out, but had to tell that story. Tommy Rowe Beginnings. It's on the ABC record label. So happy to have this. So, yeah, very, very happy. That's a special one there. All right, another one I found. I found this at a thrift store, and I already have this, okay, but this is a better copy. Statler Brothers, Flowers on the Wall. This is their very first album, and so the Statler Brothers are I don't listen to a whole lot of country, but Statler Brothers are my number one favorite country group of all time. And this is their very first album. I don't know how many albums. I got several of their albums on record. I'm wanting to get every album they ever put out on record. That's my goal. Striving for it. I already had this album, but it's in rough condition. I found this at a thrift store. The jacket's white. I mean, mine's all like discolored. It's like an off-white now. It's all wore out. This is in pristine condition. The record's in fantastic condition. So I was very happy to find this. So I went ahead and picked it up. Statler Brothers, Flowers on the Wall, on the Columbia record label. So there it is. Another one, quick mention, not going to get in big detail. The Everly Brothers, the very best of the Everly Brothers. I already have another Everly Brothers album. It's also a compilation album. Saw this one at the thrift store, figured I'd pick it up. It is not sleeved yet. As you can see, the jacket, the record's literally in there, up against the cardboard, not even in a sleeve. So this is definitely high priority. I gotta get it sleeved. And okay. The next one was an order from Discogs. I ordered this because of the song. I'll explain here in a minute. This is Jimmy Cross, I Want My Baby Back. It's a 45. It's got the adapter. I think it's a punch out. I think you can actually break that loose. I'm not really for sure. But yeah, 45 of Jimmy Cross, I Want My Baby Back. Those of you who don't know, this song was a novelty song back in the late 60s, early 70s. Jimmy Cross said that the song was meant to be a continuation of the Leader of the Pack by the Shangri-Las. However, it is a misconception out there amongst a lot of people that this song is actually a continuation of The Last Kiss by J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers. I would suffice it to say this better fits the bill for The Last Kiss. I don't know why. He does mention the Leader of the Pack in the song, but I think you just listen to the scenario and the story and his retelling of what happened, it best fits The Last Kiss. So I consider it a continuation of The Last Kiss. It didn't go very big. This song only hit, I think, like 90 something on the Billboard, so it wasn't a big hit, but definitely a novelty song for sure. Um, Kind of a dark one at that, if you ask me. But yeah, I Want My Baby Back, Jimmy Cross. Just had to have this. Very cool. Been wanting this one for years, actually, so it's finally in my hands, so that's cool. The next one I'm going to mention, this next one, well, I'll just show you. Air Supply, Greatest Hits. Folks, I'm not a big Air Supply fan. I'm really not. I saw this at the thrift store, picked it up because I'm a mobile DJ. I'm a starting mobile DJ, a beginning mobile DJ, I should say. And I figured this might be handy to have. So I kind of picked it up for that. Unfortunately, I don't like it, but it may be handy to have. That's the thing about being a DJ, I'll tell you. Now that I've started, you got to invest a lot of money into music that you will never listen to of your own accord. I got so much music right now on my laptop that I'll never listen to of my own accord. Don't like it. But it's there because people want to hear it. And as a DJ, that's what your job is, to entertain. So, yeah, I'm going to be investing in records like this. This is in pristine condition, very good condition. It can be ripped into my computer and converted to MP3 if I needed to do such. I have a software gotten actually pretty good with making it sound very good, so it can be done. So there it is. Air Supply, Greatest Hits. Not a big Air Supply fan, but figured it'd come in handy. So that's it, folks. That's all of them. That's my most recent record buys. Most of them were done several months ago. I've not had the money. My car's been on the fritz. The last 2 unboxings you saw were records I bought basically as a gift to myself for my birthday. That was like my little birthday treat for me. So, now it's time for the featured record of the day. And today's featured record, or this video's featured record, is Bill Haley and the Comets. Yeah, that's right. This one I did find at a local antique store that sells records. I think the guy's a little high priced, so I don't go in there very often. But I did find this. I picked it up. Great album, by the way. I don't know what to say about it. So Bill Haley and the Comets were one of the beginners of rock and roll, one of the first rock and roll groups. And let me rephrase that. I said one of the first rock and roll groups. There's always someone out there that wants to debate who the very first rock and roll group is. I don't think we'll ever have the answer to that question. I'm not claiming these are the very first. I'm claiming they're one of the first. They're in the beginning days of rock and roll is what I'm saying. So before people start commenting and flying off the walls at me, I had an argument with a guy once over this very topic. Anyway, so Bill Haley and his Comets, they had the big hit Rock Around the Clock that all of us know. That is featured on this album, Rock Around the Clock. They did See You Later, Alligator, and all that good stuff. Shake, Rattle, and Roll was a big one for them. It's on the Pickwick record label. There it is. Bill Haley and the Comets, very happy to have this. I need more 50s rock in my collection. I don't have very much, so. Bill Haley and the Comets, featured record of the day. Thank you, folks. Don't know what my next video is going to be. It won't be an unboxing. It's going to be a while before I do an unboxing. I can't be going out there and spending $20, $30 on a record right now. So, it'll be a while before another unboxing is done. But, I want to start showing off records in my collection. So maybe I'll do a little showcase. I'll just randomly pull out some records and have a stack sitting here and show you what I have, what I listen to. And then, yeah, maybe some videos on turntables and stuff like that. So yeah, all that will be coming up. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on the next video.